I'm Matt Whitman, and this is a little bonus episode of the 10-Minute Bible Hour. You might be on your way here from episode 41, which is about the conversion of Saul. And one of the questions I wanted to deal with there, but, time being what it is, what's the deal with these conversion stories and Acts? It seems like they're all amazing. People who have busted up legs get healed. People can speak in languages they couldn't speak before. A bolt of light appears and you can hear the voice of Jesus from heaven telling you what you need to do next. And I'm guessing there are a lot of you right now who are saying, well, truth to be told, I didn't have an experience like that. And I'm pretty sure I'm a Christian anyway. And probably some of you who are watching this who are saying, I'm interested in this stuff and I want to understand it better, but it doesn't seem like it's for me because I can't imagine anything like that ever actually happening in my life. And you both have a point. There isn't anything in the Bible that says every time somebody comes to know God that amazing, miraculous stuff is going to happen and it's going to blow everybody's mind because the laws of time and space are going to be broken. Usually, what we see in my experience, and even in the Bible, people figuring it out, and God does a subtle, invisible work in their life, and they come to a point where they realize that they need Him and they respond. And that's my story. There's very little eventfulness to it at all. It's predictable. My dad was a pastor, so I was raised around it. He explained stuff like this to me. One night on Halloween, I had a pillowcase full of candy and stuff, and I threw it up in my bed, and he told me that I wasn't supposed to eat it, but I swapped out the foam from the pillow and replaced it with a pillowcase full of candy, and then I was just eating candy all night. And my dad caught me because he's smart and I was 5, and he kind of explained guilt and punishment and forgiveness and connected some dots with things we'd talked about at church, and I got it well enough. I was like, well, yeah, I believe that. And so in my own little 5-year-old way, I remember praying to become a Christian at that moment. I revisited that in college. My freshman year was really tough. I felt very distant from God, and I realized this was something that I kind of needed to re-choose for myself as an adult. Went through a process with the Bible and a couple of friends I really trusted, and came out of that freshman year feeling like, okay, this is definitely something I pick and I'm moving forward with. And then in another video that I did, I talk about this one, the Who's the Main Character of the Bible video. I talk about the fact that I really went through that again in my early 30s when I had big questions about Christianity and weird behavior in Christianity, and I was flustered and wasn't sure where God fit into the whole thing, and the Bible wasn't making sense. And I went back and revisited the Bible, and a bunch of things that hadn't made sense did make sense, especially coming to understand that God is the main character of the Bible. And in a way, I kind of re-upped or picked it again. And now that imperfect process continues. Am I a Christian? Yes, I am. I think very much so. Is it flawless and polished? Is there a neat beginning and end to my story? Well, not like there really is for Saul. Some of you will go from the far end of one thing to the far end of the other, just like Saul did. Some of you were going to be more like me, where the quiet voice of God, His presence, His work, translates into you coming to a point where you say, okay, whatever words I choose, what I'm saying is I'm in. To put it simply, I completely dig what God did in Saul's life, and I'm also totally fine with what God's done in the lives of my friends and myself. One way or another, what we see is that there seems to be beginning points of faith throughout the book of Luke and the book of Acts, and for each of us, there's kind of a beginning point of that process as well. Might look different from time to time, but the same God is behind all of it. Hopefully that's some useful additional food for thought, and if nothing else, you got to hear a little bit of my story. I'm Matt Whitman. This is kind of like the 10-Minute Bible Hour. We'll catch you soon.